just
Yeah.
you always say when you're not making threes, you're due. Was that just kind of the universe balancing itself out?
Yeah, and just execution. I thought they did a good job defending us in the first half. They got aggressive on some traps, and we didn't handle it well as a staff in terms of just making an adjustment. And obviously, in the second half, we made an adjustment. A couple of those baskets had nothing to do with that, but just making a good decision. We got it centered a couple times and got to the opposite side and just made the right plays and had some step-in threes there. Got a couple opportunities in transition. But no, we just had to settle in. We didn't grab any energy until we made shots, which, you know, sometimes you get into games. The way we started the game, I thought Iowa had better energy than us. And then sometimes when you get on the road, you can't get out of that rut. And we were pretty fortunate, I thought, to be tied at halftime. You know, and then that allowed us to be in a game where we can manage it a little bit better. And then obviously we get it to 12, then they whittle it down, and then you kind of seesaw it from there. But people have to spend a lot of energy when they get down. And these guys are unbelievable in getting there where they're down 10, 12 points, and they just erase it in about 2 minutes with their ability to make shots.
You're talking about that energy boost. Caleb made some plays there to start the second half to help get that going. Just how bad did you need someone besides Braden or Trey to get something?
Yeah, we needed, you know, to get some second chance points. Like, we needed to be able to play in transition, but we also needed to play off offensive rebounds. And those types of plays really got us going. But I thought Caleb was good. I thought Caleb did a lot of really good things. You know, would have had a big night if he made his free throws. But no, I thought his effort and his energy was really good, especially in that stretch you're talking about.
Been numerous times this year where you could have shot with your last possession before the half. And, you know, sometimes you're down 10, you go down 8. Today you're down 3, you tie it.
Right.
How much momentum does that maybe give you going into the locker room? Just getting that last
Yeah,
bucket?
I think it just helps you because, like, we didn't play great. I think they had a lot to do with that, but we didn't play that great. But, you know, hey, we haven't played, you know, a great half here, but it's still tied. And now, we got it in a good position. I think it really helps. And we obviously had a nice run there to start the second half.
The offense kind of struggled with Trey there for a while in the first half, and then Braden kind of gets that look in his eye. Is that kind of just what you need from him in those moments, just to really assert himself and look for a shot?
Yeah, we really wanted him to, you know, after we made some adjustments about stuff, you know, look to score more, look to drive the ball more than anything. Like, get them on their heels, get them to put 2, 3 people on the basketball, and then get the ball out of your hands. If they don't, then he obviously got a couple driving layups. But he's a great player, man. He gets it figured out. You can get him a little bit here and there, but he normally gets things figured out. And getting him to score has really helped our program. Really helped our program because that's what we need. You go on the road and, you know, Trey gets in foul trouble or whatever, you know, you got to have people step up that can create some things for themselves. You don't have, not every player that you have or they have can create for themselves. And it's a big piece if you got numerous guys who can do that and play at an efficient level.
Braden's done that a lot, you know, for you over the years.
Yeah.
Has really elevated his game, but also your team around him. What's his kind of leadership aura about?
Yeah.
Is he a spoken word guy, or is he more of a
Yeah.
example?
Well, he's really a quintessential point more than anything. He's not that lead guard that scores, even though tonight he was that lead guard that we needed. But, you know, he leads more off of just competing, you know, and going at people. Like, he enjoys, you know, the competition. He enjoys fighting, loves to win. He's won, you know, so if you go look at his record, high school, college, like he's won at every level he's played at. But no, he leads by example probably more than anything. But when he gets it going like he does tonight, like, that's just a spark, you know, like that, you know, for us in terms of, like, you know, that's what we need because Trey's been getting in foul trouble a lot. So, like, that's important for us.
When you're trying to keep pace with Iowa, the scoring balance, you mentioned Caleb, obviously. Cam hits a big 3, Jakari hits a big 3 in the first half.
Yeah.
And what CJ gave you, Fletcher hits some shots in the second half. Is that how you have to beat a team that, like you said, can erase a 12-point deficit?
Yeah, I think more than anything, just the balance of it. And so, like, when they put 2 people on the ball on ball screens, like, you got to be able to get it out of there and get the ball moving and make plays because you're into 4-on-3, a 3-on-2, 2-on-1 once the ball gets out of there. They did a good job of, you know, causing those turnovers in the first half, and we really didn't help Braden, you know, flash in there and get there. Well, the same holds true for Trey. You know, now they start doubling Trey. You got to repost him or you got to move it and get an open shot or drive their closeouts at that time. If you can't do that, now they've got you stymied. And so I thought it was important for us, like, to be able, whenever they doubled us, whether they're ball screens or whether they're traps, we got to be able to make a productive play. Like we've lived off that with the size that we've had. So we have a heavy dose and a heavy experience of people doubling our bigs and then playing out of it. Now this year's probably not quite as much. You know, Tracy's way more one-on-ones than Zach did.
Like you said, it's 2 games in a row where Trey dealing with foul trouble. On one hand, Purdue shouldn't be as good when Trey Goff and Rinson out there. At the same time, are you seeing common denominators there that have to get corrected because it's something that you guys are going to probably encounter?
No, he needs to stop fouling. Yeah, he needs to stop fouling because we don't have a low post scorer like that. And so, like, that's the punch that it takes. Doesn't mean we can't be a good team without him, because we can, but I don't think we're the same prolific offensive team without him. Like, I think that's the piece where he's got to play without fouling him. Like, on the one play, it's a good call by the ref. He turns his body. So he's got to be vertical, and it's simple. He fouls there at the end, and he reaches down, then he acts like, well, whether you touched him or you didn't, you don't reach when someone shoots. You get your hands up high. You know, you reach when someone's driving the basketball. So, like, he's got to learn and understand. Like, the 2 fouls they called at Indiana are legal screens. They're both fouls, and they're both good calls. Like own what's going on. Like you're seeing that pattern. Let's stop that pattern, right? If you get a bad call, you get a bad call. You can't do anything about that. But he's not getting that bad of calls. So, like, he's got to make that adjustment so he can stay in the game. But we're not going to be as good, especially in the low post, when he's not in there. We're just not. Like, we don't even try it. Like, we just play differently. Yeah.
How much did his productivity in the first half matter in the second half, opening up his passing?
Who, Trey's?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot, because then they really committed to him. And then he was able to get out of it and make some really nice reads. He pump faked the one time. He got CJ that 3 in the corner. He got another 3 on an and one. A one more pass right there. But no, he's a good passer. He did we got him the pocket pass where Fletch hit the 3, early in the second half when they called timeout. So, yeah, he's really improved his passing. He's done a great job.
That's one, Casey. Defensively, you guys kind of struggled to get stops in a string on the second half.
Yes.
Is that just Iowa, or were there execution
I think
issues?
both. They got us on some back doors. They do a good job of getting you, and they drive and they jump stop, and then everybody cuts off of it. So they back cut you, they come for handoffs, they look for spray out threes, and it's difficult. Sanford and Dix are so good with it, but they're also really good without the basketball. And their movement really caused a lot of problems for us. I thought a couple times we fell asleep on just some dribble-ats, and they went backdoor on us. Dix got us at least twice, maybe 3 times that way. We've got to do a better job of concentrating. But what they do is they make multiple cuts, and they make you make multiple decisions, and then right as you break, they have you. So it's something we don't see you don't see a great deal of that in college basketball. They are great at moving without the basketball. We got to do a better job of it. But once they get going, when you deal with Josh Dix and Peyton Sanford, once they get going, they'll make tough ones then. That's the problem, because normally when you deal with people, if you get them to take a tough one, they normally miss them. Like these guys here, when they get their heads up. And then we started fouling Josh Dix. I thought that was a really good move. That was pretty smart. So, like, they just started, like, fouling him. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, keep making tough pull-ups. And I know he made a couple, but fouling him doesn't help anything. Obviously, he didn't make his free throws like he's capable of making his free throws. He went 4 for 7. But still, like, you got to do a better job there. You guys need anything?
Oh, I was just going to ask. So
Go ahead.
You went to the game maybe assuming that Owen Freeman, the team's leader in points, rebounds,
Right.
blocks, didn't play. How did that affect the way you prepared or the way the game turned out?
Yeah, it affects how we deal with the post, because he's a post-up player. And obviously, it affects how he does a really good job of getting into kind of that short roll that we try to do with Trey Kaufman-Renn, and he gets it there, and he'll take off like a trampoline, right? He'll rip and go and go off of 1 foot, and you think, like, where in the hell's everybody else? But Dix and Sanford are opposite, so people stay home there, and it gives him those alleys. So it really puts you in a bind when he gets that ball, like, right there at the nail, and he has good spacing, because he can drive it, he can draw fouls. He's great at taking mismatches and then pinning small people and just throwing over the top. He goes in transition. Like, think about tonight, like, how many transition kick-aheads did they get at the rim? Like, that's a Luka Garza special, right? Well, he does that too. So he runs and gets that. So he just puts a stressor on you as a guy that can drive it, a guy that can play in the post, and a guy that can play in transition. And he's his best, he's the best rebounder. And so we started to prepare for him, obviously. And then when that happened, now that's a little bit different, because those other guys don't have the same skill package.